firstly, let's take a look at this uptick in the market again. Profit takers are not seen anywhere today. What's happening? What's the trend like at the moment?
Well, actually, market was slightly more bullish today than yesterday. Yesterday, the market went down by about 0.09%, but then today it actually gained about 0.57% to close at about 22,538 points. Yeah, which is actually a good development. Considering what has happened, for the bulk of this week. Well, actually, although there were less gainers than yesterday, there were actually 40 gainers today. Like about, I think, 44 yesterday. Sorry, but the good thing is actually most of the stocks that gained today are actually the big cap companies. Like UBA, First Bank. And this is actually why the ASI actually went up today, as in comparing it to yesterday. And also in terms of the bids and the offer volumes for today, the bids actually increased, comparing it to yesterday. It actually gained about 36% thereabouts, from yesterday. And then the companies which were actually on strong bids today are companies like First Bank, Guaranteed Trust Bank. And, like I said earlier, these are big cap companies.
All right.
So,
Bunmi, let's focus on the.
All right. Today.
Well, let's focus on the cement industry. Has the face of the sector changed from last year at all?
I think the outlook for the industry is actually positive. Recently, the government introduced some new policies which actually aimed at reducing the cost of sales of the local players. The BCC, the Ashaka, the Wapco, and also CCNA. The import duty on bagged cement was reduced to about 5%. I think it was about 10% before. And then there's also the ban on gypsum was also lifted as well. So basically, all these factors should more or less contribute to making the cost of sales of most of the players, to be reduced. And of course, that will actually reduce the retail price of cement.
At one stage last year, all the building materials were far more expensive, hence it was slowing down the sector invariably. Take us through how that has affected the cement sector.
Actually, BCC is still a bit more expensive. Comparing it to some of the other players in terms of the valuations are actually still overpriced comparing it to the other companies. And then for today, Ashaka gained about 5%. Also, Wapco gained about 4.83% thereabouts. It was just BCC that was flat for today.
All right, and take us through the movement over the from last year, the Lafarge's trend. What was that like?
The movement in what, sorry?
And of Lafarge Wapco.
Lafarge Wapco has actually been improving, from last year. But the only slight concern that we have for Wapco is that now Wapco is a close competitor with Dangote Cement. Collectively, the two companies actually constitute about 86% of the whole market. And now with the new expansion in Dangote Cement, they are currently building a plant in Ogun State, which more or less would make it actually compete more with Wapco. So in that sense, I think Wapco would have, I wouldn't say a slowdown in the demand for its products, but then it should expect more competition from Dangote.
Yes, the banking sector dominates the Nigerian bourse, but do you think that the cement sector can pull up the bourse for the outlook of the bourse?
I'm not too sure how that's going to play out for now. But of course, BCC is a big cap company, and of course Lafarge as well. It more or less depends on how investors, react to the price of the stocks, and that would pull up the market share of the products. Sorry, that will pull up the market capitalization of the products.